Yay. Well, I'm so excited to finally meet y'all. Thank you
I
for having me.
know. I know. I'm really excited.
Same.
I had fun just chatting on the Discord chat too. It got me so pumped up.
Yeah. Discord chats are always cute. I always feel like I'm
hmm
so just like being like so rebellious. Like, yeah, I got friends on Discord and what about it?
It's such a good name for a way to talk to all the gay people in your phone.
hmm
Because
All
that's
the
how I
little
think
gay
of Discord.
people.
Is it's where I talk to the gay people on my phone.
hmm
I love that. That's where they all are.
Yeah,
It's just
Yeah.
including my
which gay
husband.
person I talk. Hello? Whoa.
Yeah,
Your
Yeah.
husband too?
yeah. We've texted. We've been married 3 years. We've texted each other 4 times. Everything else is in Discord.
And that's how you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 2 of those texts are testing to see if my new phone worked.
I love
Is
that.
this working? Sure. Text you in 3 years.
Should we do our quick little intro, Robin?
We should do our quick little intro and then we can officially we're already recording anyway, but
This is how we get the cold
yeah.
open.
I
Yeah.
love a cold open.
Hey brats, my name is Robin and I am trans.
My name is Ben, and I am trans.
And you are listening to Ben and Robin are trans, the Brat Pod. We have a special guest with us today. Their name is Liv. They're a personal trainer, fitness coach, social media presence. That's how I met you originally. Liv is on TikTok. I sound like an old person.
Tic-tacs.
I'm an old lady now. I originally discovered you on TikTok like a long time ago before we were doing this podcast on my personal account. Um, this is my experience of the first time that I followed you on TikTok, which is I don't even remember what your video was at the time, but whatever is of course fitness related, like queer fitness related, as is your thing. But I was watching this TikTok and I was like, this person is making me feel hot by proxy, and I'm not the one doing the workout or whatever. So I love that. I don't know if that's a unique queer experience or just a me thing, but
And you deserve to feel hot.
hmm
We all do. That's crazy.
Mhm.
I'm really glad to know that. I didn't know that you had.
hmm
Ooh, is this gonna sound bad? I don't know that I didn't know that you had been following me for like a while. And hot by proxy, that's my new thing. That's what I'll be focusing on now, like forever. All my
yeah,
content, I'm
yeah,
scrapping it.
exactly.
I just want you to feel hot by proxy.
hmm Yeah,
That's
yeah. I
awesome.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just oh, another queer person is doing this thing. I could absolutely do those things. Um,
Yeah.
I don't currently, but I could do it, you know.
Such a mood.
Yeah, and it's kind of affirming by proxy, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, it's like,
hmm
oh, like that could be me. It's community, and we find it
hmm
wherever we can. And that makes me really happy to know that. And you also, yes, you could.
hmm
If I can do it, anybody can do it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we'll do the normal intro stuff in a second, but I just on that note, I also wanted to mention your one TikTok from a couple of days ago that I loved. And you were talking about, I don't remember your phrasing, but it was the best advice that you're gonna get is from the people who just say drink water and lift weights a couple times a week and you're good. And you said something along the lines of you're a threat to the people who don't want you to be healthy and in shape and everything. And that's the best possible motivation that you could give me
hmm
for getting in shape is just pissing off transphobes. So I love that.
I love that. Yeah. No, it's kind of like we're getting hotter and fitter, but as like a treat for us because it's rebellious, like
hmm
against the patriarchy. Yeah, I think I said
Yes.
I think it was you are like basically the best form of yourself, whatever. If you're flexible and mobile and strong in any way, right, and that looks different for everybody, then you
Yeah.
are, what is it, like a threat to people who really benefit from you not being that. And I think that we know who
Yeah.
benefits from us not being that. So like it does kind of put things into a broader perspective. And I just am a little
Absolutely.
rebellious, like little freak. So I have to think about
I
it like
love a
that
little
sometimes.
freak.
I love that.
We all-
Yes.
Yes.
It's one of my
Yeah.
favorite things to say the last few months is just little freak.
Little
Rebellious little
freak.
freak.
Oh,
Silly little
thank you for
freak.
sharing that with me.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the first thing we like to ask our guests, since everybody in our community is meeting you for the first time too, is how would you describe your gender to us?
Yeah. I love this question. So the basics is my pronouns are they, them, or like whatever. They, them is the safest. And then I usually refer to myself as like non-binary or gender fluid. I just kind of like a sure. I was having a conversation with my friends maybe like a year ago where we were all talking about like how would you describe your gender in like the most like nuanced way you possibly can. People are getting really specific about it. And they got to like one of my friends and my friend was like, yes. Like my gender is just yes. Like it's just
Mhm.
all of it. Give it to me. And then at the
What's your
time
gender? Yes, please.
yes, it's like and give me more gender. And at the time I said, yeah, my gender is just kind of like no. I was like, no, none for me, please, thanks. But I would say that now my gender is more like, sure. Like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, a little bit.
So that's how I
I'll
describe
take a
it. It's like
portion.
you know what, hell yeah.
hmm
And that really like highlights the fluidity. Is like you can have a no day, you can have a sure day, you could have a hell yeah day, and they're all still completely valid.
Exactly. Sometimes it's none of my business.
Yeah, relatable.
Yeah. This doesn't concern me.
Yeah, like my
That's
body can
great.
figure it out on their own.
hmm
Mhm.
So you mentioned on one of your TikToks, you called yourself like a non-binary lesbian at one point. And I wanted to ask you about that because we literally were having a discussion on Discord about that the other day. Like, some people like gatekeeping terms like that. And like, is that a term that you use for yourself to begin with?
This is a great question. I am trying to think of the TikTok that I say so much stuff on the internet.
I
Like,
no, I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea like which one it was either, but
Or how long ago it was from.
yeah, I don't
yeah, I really didn't think I'd ever get any followers on TikTok. So the way that I just like say
Mhm,
things, and I'm just like, I'm putting this out there, and I haven't taken any of it down because
mhm,
I'm like, you know what, and let me stand on business. Yeah, I
mhm,
would say that it like very loosely like non-binary lesbian, but as things go, I have definitely released that term quite a bit more
mhm,
lately, especially this year. I'm kind of in the process of not reevaluating, but just kind of allowing it things like my labels, whatever labels I use for myself, to be held so loosely. And so
mhm,
if the word lesbian kind of falls through my fingers and we go back to pan or whatever, then I'm about
mhm.
it. But what were y'all talking about? Because I do know that that was a very significant discussion on at least the sides of TikTok that I'm on for like a while.
Mhm. I don't even remember where the discussion started, but I just like
Oh, someone had just discovered the term transbian, and then we were talking about
that's where it
how
came from.
you don't have to be two trans lesbians to be in a transbian relationship. You can be a
Mhm,
trans lesbian with a cis woman, but then also there are trans men who identify with the lesbian label because
mhm,
there's such a huge culture around being a lesbian, and it's not just necessarily about the gender. Um, like to be lesbian is such an encompassing thing, and it can touch all parts of your lives. But then
mhm.
some trans men get really, and other people too. But I'm in trans mask groups, so I usually see trans men being like, "Well, if you're a trans man, you can't be a lesbian because you have to be a woman to be a lesbian." And I just feel like if people like the term, use the term. It's a word.
Literally.
Exactly. I
Yeah,
think my last word in the conversation was like, the terms are here to serve you. You're not here to serve the terms. So like,
I
try
love
not to be
that.
so precious about like, yeah, let's not gatekeep things from each other. We gotta look out for our own community.
Yeah, like no like divisive um like words and labels here. Like the goal is to actually
Yeah.
encourage community. So I'm yeah, big agreement on that one. Like
Mm-hmm.
use the word that feels the best to you because also like isn't that kind of the point in like the direction we're trying to move as a community is like actually
Mm-hmm.
non-binary looks different to everyone and non-binary is a like a umbrella term for a lot of different identities. I don't see why the word
Yes.
lesbian
Mm-hmm.
can't be also. Wow,
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah. I just think it's not that deep. And things
Mm-mm.
don't have to have hard definitions all the time.
Yeah.
If it feels right, it feels right, and I think that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not to do like a segue, king of them. When it comes to you saying like the term is there for you, like you're not there for the term, it's something that I say to my clients all the time surrounding like their workouts or movement of like, you're not here for your workout, like your workout is here for you. Like this is meant for you and for the betterment of like your identity,
Mm-hmm.
your body, how you feel. And so let's not get trapped in this patriarchal capitalistic idea of like, oh man, like I have to exist and think within the bounds of this one label. Like, girl, throw it away.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we don't need the labels. We don't need the like, okay, this is what a workout is supposed to look like. This is what my body is supposed to look like or my identity. You get to make it what you want. And that's the beauty
Mm-hmm.
of embodiment and these like the community that we're in and the conversations we get to have. So hopefully that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
makes
I
perfect
love what you
sense.
said. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Um, so did you have a trans moment of joy that you'd like to share for us?
A trans moment of joy. I get so many of them all the time. I am so lucky.
That's amazing. That's its
Oh,
own trans moment of joy, I feel like. We always try to start with joy because like joy is essential. Joy is everything, especially now. But also like sometimes the like personal like queer discussions can go into dark stuff too, but we always want to leave somebody with like something really cool and affirming either way. So
I love that. It's almost like we face difficult things a lot. That's crazy.
mm-hmm.
We
Um,
do.
yes, joy is everything. It's such a high vibration, gratefulness and love.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes, trans joy moment. I was besides the fact that I get to work with trans and queer people every single day, which by the way, you guys, my job is just to like go to the gym and hang out with gay people. Like that's what I do. Like if we were to boil it down, it's
That's
so fun.
incredible, yeah.
But I mean, I guess pulling it back to the fact that I've been around my conservative family for the past few days and knowing coming into it that I will be misgendered. Like my family doesn't really know that I'm non-binary and we're not going to go there. It's in everyone's best interest. And so I get she heard a lot.
mm-hmm.
And I have been taking a lot of walks around the property because there's just like no one out here. And I was looking at kind of like the trees and the road and the sky and the, normal things outside that you see when you go outside. And I was like, this is crazy that like the earth sees me. My family doesn't see me, but like the earth does because gender is everywhere in nature and nowhere in nature. And I know this is a realization that we all have, right? I know. But it was just like a good reminder to me that at any point I can access like euphoria and affirmation and my body and like the truth of who I am by just connecting again with the physical world. And it was just kind of a very, very nice moment, like a special,
Mm-hmm.
special breath of fresh air that
Literally and
allows me to
figuratively.
just, yeah, literally and
Yeah,
figuratively, because it gets rough out
that's
here sometimes during the
mm-hmm.
holidays, as many of us know. So,
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. I've been really into the sky lately. Something about a winter sunset that just gets me.
same. I feel like, okay, is this weird? I feel like the sunsets have been really good this winter.
Yes.
Am I
They've been really
crazy?
trans, like pink and blue, and sometimes pansexual, so with a little bit of yellow thrown in. It's been so pretty.
Gay is
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. Trans is
It's
everywhere.
Yeah.
everywhere.
Shout out to our friend Will, who is on the podcast like a million episodes now. But his entire TikTok account, for the most part, is just him like sharing a really pretty leaf that he found that day. And he's always just like, here's today's leaf. Isn't it
Yeah, favorite
beautiful?
leaf of the day.
Favorite leaf of the day, yeah.
That would heal
He's
me.
amazing. Yeah,
Amazing.
he's
So
so precious.
yeah, it's beautiful, but one of you is welcome to take the idea of sunset of the day and run with it.
I
There's room
just,
for all the sunsets. We have different sunsets.
Hmm.
yeah, let's all do it. Oh, I just posted a TikTok that it didn't get a lot of traction, which is fine. It's not why I do it. But it was all of the photos of, it was the TikTok trend of like, I didn't do very much this year. It feels like I didn't do very much, but I did. And then it's like
Hmm.
1,000 pictures of the sunset because I may identify as non-binary, but I am through and through a sunset girly. Okay.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be taking the pictures of the sunsets. I'm gonna be posting them, and I don't care what you think. Because what do you mean I got to live another day and see that?
Hmm.
Incredible.
Like I saw a beautiful sunset and I'm gonna make it everybody else's problem.
You just are making me bring it back to the lesbian doesn't necessarily mean gender, because girly does not necessarily mean gender either.
Oh,
Hmm.
You can be
I
a
love
something
that.
girly and not be a girl.
It's not a gender, it's a vibe.
Yep.
Girly is gender fluid. That's a gender neutral word.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
All right. So, you were saying I was going somewhere with this. Give me 1 second to
Calibrate.
recalibrate for my ADHD.
I'm gonna be addicted to nicotine then.
Do it. Um, so you were saying earlier that you are like not out as non-binary to your family,
No,
or it's
I,
complicated?
it's complicated. I'm sure they've figured it out by now, but we just don't talk about anything.
Hmm.
No, I'm not. They know that I am a queer person. And they're not really about it, you know? But the really fun part about coming from a Southern family is that they have really good ways of never talking about things that they don't want to talk about. Like it's crazy.
Hmm.
Just like the social like hoops they go through, like the conversational hoops that they go through to not ever talk about gay. And
Hmm.
so not a problem for me because we can play this game all day. All day and all night, honey.
And
I'll tell you what.
then you can go back to the gayborhood and feel free again.
Yeah, no, yeah. I miss the game. This is so nice. I haven't talked to a gay person. He's talking to me right now. I'm like, please God. I TikTok last year really liked a video that I posted where I was just like, yeah, no, I need to speak to a gay person. You know that sound of like I need to talk to a gay person. Like when you get
Mm-hmm.
misgendered for days in a row.
Yes.
Like I kind of
Where's my gaze?
understand. No, yeah, it's really bad. I like can't wait to go back to work. I'm gonna all my clients, I'm gonna be like, oh, thank God, I missed you so much. They're gonna be like, what?
Hmm.
Don't tell them that. Don't tell them I
Like
said
let's
that.
huddle. Yeah.
I think it's
No,
good
you're
when
all
your
like,
job
let's
fills
huddle
you
together.
up.
Yeah,
I think it's a miracle when your job fills you up.
That's beautiful.
yeah, yeah. The American
Mm.
dream is liking your job that you have to do. The American dream is being able to get to do the work that you do, or like doing your art for your work, which is definitely what I feel like I do.
Mhm.
Like what I do is my art. Being able to be artistic and earn money from it is crazy.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing. So, do you want to get into your gender journey a little bit? First of all, how long have you been like thinking of yourself as non-binary person? How did that come about?
That's a really good question. Not long.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember how I came to be non-binary. I wish that I could, but I do know that it was
Maybe
in
because you always were.
I always was. I've always thought of myself this way. Well, that's kind of funny too, because I feel like a lot of, and y'all tell me if you have a similar or different experience, but I think a lot of, at least non-binary people and yeah, that I've talked to are like, yeah, I kind of like always knew that like I wasn't a man, I wasn't a woman, I was like something else, or at the very least, you just kind of grow up in a gender like a gender box that you're just like, well, this doesn't work, but the other thing doesn't work either, so I guess I must be this. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was definitely a thing. But I think 2022 I came out as non-binary. I must have just like met enough non-binary people to where I was like, wait a minute, like the Spider-Man meme. And I was like, that I too, I don't know how. And then yeah, did the whole pipeline of like she they and then they them. And we've
Mm-hmm.
been they them for since 2022. And that's I think where we're gonna stay. But it's been cute. And it was really fun to realize that I was non-binary because very shortly after I had like a very quick realization that my body is like good. My body's good. Like with what I don't know what floodgates were released um for me to get from oh I'm just a non-binary person to oh my body kicks ass and my body can be whatever they want to be. Because I just felt so stunted in like this gender expression, womanhood, right? That I felt like I had to cling to. That when I didn't have that anymore, so many other things fell into place. And then the gender journey led into the career journey, led into the relationship journey, led into the everything else. And so it was a really, I mean, it was a really big puzzle piece to the not only the life that I have now, but like the work that I do now. Obviously, like I work with queer people, but I had to really understand what queerness meant in my body before I could actually
Mm-hmm.
do the work that I'm doing.
I love how you're wording that because I feel like we have our friend Brooke who is a also a personal trainer, and it was really awesome to talk to her about it. But the way that you're framing it around like how you feel in your body feels like so fresh and like something we haven't really heard before, and it's making me think a lot of things about my body, which is
Mm-hmm.
good.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah.
I just need to be moving more. I've been working really hard on eating more because I am someone who does not eat enough.
Same.
And I've been trying to train my body to eat before dinner time, which has been what I've done for years. But as soon as I'm really adjusted to eating more, I need to actually be moving more. And it's making me want to I used to take voice lessons and doing that helped me breathe better. And I thought I felt really in tune with my body doing that. But I need to actually feel in tune with my physical body and not just like
Mm-hmm.
my breathing.
That is for sure both of us.
Breathing is a really good place to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, my binder is making me not want to breathe because it just came out of the
Mm-hmm.
dryer.
For real. For real.
Hot and bindy.
Breathing is a really good place to start. I mean, if you can learn how to breathe and being in your body and that feels safe, then a lot of things really fall into place after that. So
Mm-hmm.
I
I'm
really
glad
want
that
to be in
you're
a place where I don't care about my boobs. That would be nice.
me too. Yeah, let me know if you get there. Thanks.
Yeah.
Ugh,
I like this idea though. And just like the word embodiment too, because like so I know Ben has talked a lot on the podcast about going through his whole journey of like you felt wrong in your body. You didn't know why you felt wrong in your body.
Hmm.
And then eventually, oh, trans, you know, to
Yeah, way
super
later.
simplify yeah, exactly. And like so I've known about the trans part most of my life. Um, and I also felt like icky in my body forever. But then like coming out and starting like the transitioning process did so much more for like my like body positivity and how I like feel about my own body, like so much more than I was anticipating. Um I still haven't gotten fully to the point of like taking better care of it yet. That's like still a journey for me. But like it's really cool for the first time to like my body. Like that is a thing that's possible. I have discovered.
And you have
Crazy.
so many cute dresses, and like you're having so much more fun with fashion, which I think helps probably you love your body more
Yeah.
because you get to express and play.
Yeah. I am a fashion girly too, so it's
I
good
think
to
it's just really nice when we get to like finally lean into what we have been like looking. It's like you've been looking at it this whole time, like you've been window shopping. You've been like, oh, that'd be so
hmm
nice, but not for me. And then you realize, actually, no, I can actually go in and I can buy that, and that could be mine. Like really leaning into like the fullness of. Ugh, I sound like a Christian right now. Leaning into the fullness of who you are.
Embrace it.
Sorry, everyone. Trigger warning. Um, and then, like, after that, just if everything feels, like, so expansive and you deserve to engage with your body that way, and you deserve like, you're engaging with, like, nature and the universe that way too. Like, when we start to really,
hmm
find out and kind of pull at the string, right, of, like, um, the binary, we uncover so much more, and then it's like, "Oh, well, I actually like my body, and that's allowed, and that's crazy." And then once you
hmm
start liking your body, you get to start maybe doing more things with your body, and then you get to lean into what you're talking about, like fashion and, like, how do I wanna dress my body? How does my body wanna look? And, by that, I mean, like, what does my body wanna look like? Because your body wants to express themselves, like, and so, like, being able to actually partner with your body in how your body wants to exist in the world is so, so special instead of telling your body, "This is what you gotta look like. Sorry, I don't make the rules." Like,
hmm
actually, you do.
Hmm.
I always got weird vibes from like this phrase that's used about trans people a lot, like born in the wrong body. That phrase never rubbed me right. And I
Yeah,
think
because it's
it's
still your
like,
body.
yes, I'm like, it is my body. I have a trans body. Maybe you are, maybe the world is who has a problem with my body, but like, this is my body. It's all one thing, you know, body, mind, brain, everything. Like, um,
That's so
yeah, so
random. That
yeah,
was a
but
shower
that,
thought
I
that
think
I
that's
had, like,
part
2
of,
days ago.
oh,
Sorry.
really?
That's crazy. We're sharing a brain cell.
No, and I
No,
agree
it's
with that
crazy.
perspective
Yeah.
completely because like this is my body, and it's not just. Sometimes I refer to it as like the meat suit that my soul rides in, but
hmm
like it's not just that. It is as much of who you are as your brain, as your soul.
hmm And like I grew up in church, and there was like at least in like our like church experience, there was a lot of emphasis on like you have your physical body, and then you have your spirit, and they're two different things, and like almost like your spirit's trapped in this, and like fuck your body, it doesn't matter,
Hmm.
eventually it's gonna die. Then you float off and you're in your perfect whatever form, you know? Which is like feels so crazy to me now because I'm like it's all integrated. It's like one thing. And I think like this isn't a religion comment, by the way. This is just like a more of like a me coming out against just like Western philosophy about like just this idea of like separating your body and your mind and everything. And I don't know where I'm going with this, but
You've been evolving from the conditioning you were raised in, and
Mhm.
like developing your own worldview. I think is what you're getting at.
Yeah, and I think that is just something that never like jived with me, just like intentionally dissociating my mind from my body. And I think like even just initially coming out as trans did so much for like bringing those things together, you know?
Wait,
I
your Christmas
love.
nails are so cute.
Yes. I've been off work for a few days, so I actually have been able to do my nails.
I almost never get to see her in nail polish. I'm very sorry for the
I know.
distraction, but
No, I
she's not
did.
allowed to wear it at work.
Yeah, it's terrible. But yeah, because I actually like doing my own nail art and everything too. Um, but like I kind of have given up on it because I have to always take it off right away. So,
Food service is so rude.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's homophobia. That's
I
transphobia.
know.
No.
It is.
What's on your like? What's the nail art on your pinky and your ring finger?
Is it snowflakes?
It is, yeah, snowflakes. I did like a nail
Hello.
stamp. It's hard to get on the camera, but I did
It's
like white snowflakes with some like glitter on them.
okay. I'm on my way right now. I need to do
Yeah,
my
when are you
nails.
opening the nail salon?
Me
Yeah,
next.
right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I really, really like what you were saying though about growing up in like with religion, which we do not have to get into if we don't want to, but just
We
wanting to
can if
like
it's important to you.
just wanting to affirm like the church, and it's not just isolated to the church. The church is a product of where, everything that we're living under, but the church does a really good job of separating us from our bodies intentionally. People who are separated from their bodies are very easily manipulated and controlled. And so a lot of us that came out later in life, the late bloomers, whatever, it's really just a product of the fact that not only were we not allowed to cognitively like think about who am I, what do I want, but we really didn't even know that it was an option to decide
Yes.
who we are. And so, yeah, having that now, it's just like crazy. That's why we say there's like a second puberty that goes down a lot of the times if you come out like later in life, which that just depends on the person because
Even if you don't
things
go on
start moving really
hormones,
quick.
you can still have that second puberty completely.
Oh, yeah. 1,000%. Yeah, you can get into that really toxic relationship at 27 years old. Go for it. Up to you.
Are you
That's why
adding me? Because I was 27. That's so funny.
Oh. Yeah, I was 25. I just went through my first lesbian breakup, like very early this year. So I'm very excited for 2025 to leave that behind me. But we're through it and we
Good
lived
for you.
somehow.
I'm sorry that happened because that sounds awful.
Rite
I've
of
never had a
passage.
lesbian breakup, but it sounds even more intense than any other breakup I've ever had.
It sounds like in lesbian culture that you just made a friend, is what it sounds like.
Depends.
Yeah, it depends. Just playing the stereotypes.
No, okay. On TikTok, they were like, listen, your first lesbian breakup is going to be real bad. And I was like, not me. It was really bad. Okay. It was like embarrassingly, like I crashed out like crazy. And thankfully we made it through, but by a hair, I'll tell you what, by a hair. TikTok was right.
Speaking of hair, yours is incredible.
Oh my God. Yes.
Thanks. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm
Yeah, I
shaving
want
it off.
crazy hair.
You can have it.
Can I?
It's good.
Yeah,
It is
put it
good
on here.
crazy, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on my way. I
I
told
want
you I'm
that
on my
hair.
way.
Yeah, come on over. I've got room.
This is a plug for like our YouTube channel. Like, come see their hair. It's incredible.
Get a load of the mullets before it
That's
gets
amazing.
And it's
chopped.
curly and red.
Yeah,
That's so
yeah.
good.
It's big
Thank
in a way
you.
I've always wanted my hair to be big.
Yeah. Yes, be
Just
proud of that. That's amazing.
humidity in the South.
Mm-hmm.
It just keeps getting bigger. Like a chia pet.
Bob Ross.
Yeah. No.
Now I want a chia
literally.
pet.
It's giving Bob Ross.
Sorry
Do you
if you
guys
hear my
remember
cat son screaming.
how many
He stopped as soon as I said that.
So, one thing we didn't talk about yet is how did you get into your whole like fitness journey? Was this a thing that you were always into, or is it like more of a recent thing?
This is a great question. Thank you. And let's see. Let me get my little brain cells together.
Wow, I sound like a proper interviewer for once. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. You sound like a proper interviewer. You do. It's
You
professional. It's
are.
getting professional. You are. You guys
Oh,
are.
thank you.
You're proper
Mhm.
podcasters.
I'm a
Um,
proper podcast girly.
yeah. I got into my fitness journey. Okay. Both my parents are really active when I was growing up. My dad was in the military, so I was a military kid. We're not going to get into that trauma now. Feel free to ask me about it another time. Let's see.
I'm
And
with
then
you in
my
solidarity, I promise.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Oh
We have
yeah.
lots to talk about. Perfect. Yeah, my dad used to take my sister and me to the gym, when my mom got tired of us, and so just when I was, like, really little, I was just, like, traipsing around the base gym, not knowing what was going on, and then I was a swimmer in high school, and I was doing that really, like, intensely. Swimming was the thing. I was doing it twice a day, every day. It was a really good way of keeping me out of my body. So being, like, really good at a sport was a really good way for me to just completely ignore all of my problems and all of my feelings. And then I stopped swimming because I got my second TBI. And so I could not swim anymore, and all of a sudden I had to develop a personality. So I went to Christian college. The lore goes crazy. Went to Christian college and started just going to the gym there because that's all I knew how to do because my dad had taken me, and I was like, you know what? This low-key slaps. Kind of like the gym. And then I married a straight cis man. The lore continues. And then I just kind of stopped moving my body altogether. Like, I didn't run, I didn't walk, I didn't go to the gym, nothing for a couple of years because I was just like so deeply unhappy in my life and who I was. I was cosplaying as a Christian woman, a married Christian woman. I like to call it cosplaying because that's the least dark I can put it. So I was just saying I was just trying it out. Just trying it out, was doing a really good job. But was just at a job that I was just sitting all the time and I could not do it. And I was like, you know what? I want to go back to the gym. But my toxic trait is that I'm just going to figure out how to do it on my own. So I was like, either I could hire a personal trainer, who would do that? Or I could just become one. And so I decided to just like get a textbook and get my certification. And then I was like, you know what? I want to do this. This seems really fun. And I have been doing it for 7 years, on and off, but, like, straight through for 7 years, but sometimes I've had, like, a second job. The thing that got me into queer fitness was obviously becoming queer, but also, like, getting into the embodiment, like, way of it's not therapy, but, like, I got an embodiment coach, Tara Teng, definitely gonna drop her name. If you don't know her, you should. She is she really helped me a lot with learning how to get into my body and what that actually means. And, after a couple years of working with her, I was like, "This is it." Like, I stopped talk therapy, I just did embodiment coaching, and then just kind of, like, put all of my interests together and made a job out of it, and it's going really well. So, it's been a really fun time. So the answer is, like, I've always been into it, but on and off. And I don't think that if you wanna get into fitness, you have to have always been into it. Like, you don't need to have had your dad, like, take you to the gym because your mom wanted
Mhm.
you out of the house when you were a kid to get into fitness. Like, you can do it whenever you want.
True.
Thank you.
I just looked up Tara Tang, Miss World Canada 2013, now an embodiment
Yeah,
coach. Hell yeah.
Dang.
she's incredible. She wrote a book called Your Body is a Revolution. Highly recommend. I buy many copies and just give them out as gifts. I say, "I don't care
If
what you want,
it's,
you are getting this book and you're gonna read it."
I'm probably gonna
Mhm.
get it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
should.
and we'll definitely link to her like in the show notes and in the Discord because that sounds like a really good resource.
Hmm.
Yeah, really good. Embodiment was just kind of like the thing that allowed me to finally, like we were talking about, like lean in. And it's really just the practice of getting to know your body and being in your body and existing in the world in a body. Existing in a world that wants to take you out of your body. And it's
Yeah,
rebellious in
not in
nature.
spite of it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like when we're talking about rebellion and revolution and sticking it to the patriarchy, um, being embodied and having embodied practices are some of the best ways to actively practice not participating in the systems that be. And it can be as easy as small, I should say, as breathing, like you were talking about earlier, of just getting into a breathwork practice, sitting there and dropping into your body, whatever you enjoy doing with your body. It's rebellious to be in good relationship with your body, which is why being trans and queer is rebellious in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we know our bodies better than a lot of non-queer people do because we have to think so hard about how we relate to ourselves in the world. Um, it's a really good way to become radicalized. Is just being queer because
Mm-hmm.
you question everything.
Because we haven't had the option to not examine ourselves. So it's not something that we've necessarily been able to just check out of. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's real.
I've said a few times before, I feel like if you want to look at gender as a spectrum, and I feel like I'm speaking for non-binary people as not a non-binary person, so you can confirm with me. But if you're looking at gender as a spectrum, I think the closer to the middle of the spectrum you are, the harder it is. Mm, let's not phrase it that way. I feel like if you're a traditional cis, super mask, cis man or super femme, cis woman, then it's very easy for you to fall into the regular, traditional gender roles and not question things about any of that system. But the farther away you get from those extremes, even a little bit, even 5%, off of one side of the spectrum, it becomes harder and harder to just be okay with that, you know? Um, is this making any sense?
Yeah.
But yeah, society tries to force us to basically round up or round down on that gender spectrum. And for some people it's easy to do. And for other people like us, it's you spend your entire life examining this thing. And in a lot of ways, I feel like we know ourselves a lot better than some people do.
I love that. The rounding up and the rounding down.
Hmm.
I have not heard those phrases before when it comes to trans identity, and that's a really good way of putting it. You can of course be exist as you are, be your identity, be who you are. And so if you genuinely do fit in the gender identity that you are expressing, then great. And then if you're anywhere on the spectrum in any direction that's not completely to one side or the other, then you will need to think about, you'll need to think about the things that you're talking about a little bit more. I really like that a lot.
Hmm.
Wow.
I feel like I'm going to spend the next month just being all over the internet looking at embodying, and I'm really excited about it. I'm so
Hmm.
excited about it.
Oh, the topic of embodiment.
Yeah, the embodiment
Mhm.
and just revolution, healing our relationships with our bodies, each other, and the earth. I'm gonna be reading
Yeah,
that 4 times.
Hmm.
it's incredible. You really just, and I found that the more I get into embodiment, and I know that it's such a umbrella term. The more that I get into it, though, and the more that I learn, the more questions I have, and the more that there is to uncover. And also, what I will say about what I found when it comes to embodiment and coaching and learning about it, no one out there is an authority on at least your own embodiment more than you are. Your body is the one that is the authority on how you feel and who you are and who your body is. And so there are a lot of writers and speakers and thought leaders out there about it, but at the end of the day, like, it's you and you get to decide like who you are and what your body wants and needs. And also, I am not the person to be listening to. I am a white person, which means that I am not the authority on anything except for my own like work that I am doing. And so like when it comes to these people like Tara Teng, I'm trying to think of someone else. I know their name, but I'm gonna have to like send it to you later. I should have written them down. But like embodiment practices have existed for a really long time. Like it's really just somatic movement, and they are practices from like way before colonization. And so like the folks to listen to are, or the folks to not listen to. I don't want to say it like that because I think we all have something really good to say. But the people that we really should be maybe going to first when it comes to embodiment and somatic movement and practices should definitely be people of color, Black, Indigenous people, and people of color, because it's just truly, genuinely like in their ancestry in a way that is just like, it's not here. It's just not. And so I am very thankful to be able to incorporate embodiment in the work that I do, and also to acknowledge that like this is like not like home base for me, if that makes sense. Like I am just a body trying to learn how to be a body and just trying to hold space for other people who are learning about their bodies, you know? So I just want to say that.
I like how you just, in a very nice way, said that. Well, what I'm getting from like the between the lines is a lot of the world's problems are white nonsense, and that is something that I agree with.
Yeah.
And I'm very white, and I think white nonsense is trash.
I was cracking up earlier today because I was scrolling through like some of your TikToks that I hadn't seen before. And one of them you were like, I don't remember your phrasing, but you're essentially like, don't come to me as a resource for anything or whatever. I'm not the one to speak for people. And I was like, we're having them on the podcast tonight, but that's cool. Agree to disagree.
Wait, are you
Yeah, I was
talking
gonna-
about one of my TikToks?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was
See,
going to ask if you were going into like embodiment coaching in addition to fitness coaching, but based on what you just said, it sounds like no.
Yes, I would really like to become like a certified embodiment coach. It is a lot of money, but I am looking around at like different certifications just to make sure that like, you know, they're good to go. And so that is something that I want to do. It's also just really important to me for me to sit here and be like, I'm not the authority on this. Like, I am hoping to just like go behind people to be like, and go look at what this person has put out about this, and go research it over here. Like, I want to be a resource, and I want to be able to put like the power and the what's the word? Y'all, I'm looking for it. My TBIs, I've had 8 of them, and so it's hard to
You're
pull words
trying
out
to
of my
be a
mouth.
resource, but not an authority, is what it sounds like.
Pretty much. Like, I'm just trying to use privilege, the other P word. I'm trying to use my privilege and like put it behind things that actually deserve like recognition and speed. But like, yeah, I'm not an authority on anything but me and like what I do every day, and like my body and my experiences, just like we are all authorities on our own experiences. And I really think that I say that just because, I don't know, TikTok is a hard place to exist a lot of the time. So yeah, I don't know if y'all have experienced it, but like you really need to, I don't know, have some sort of like very thick skin when it comes to TikTok. And what I'm talking about is the Taylor Swift TikToks that I posted, and it's fine, okay? It's not that deep, but I'm like, I'm definitely not the authority on Taylor Swift. Because if I say anything bad against her, the Taylor Swift fans come for me, and you know what? Hell yeah. Go for it. terrifying.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm not on TikTok very much because I do not have a very thick skin. But like, I think I'm gonna dare to speak for Robin a little bit.
Mhm.
This podcast is also kind of about being a resource, but not an authority. Like we joke that we're the Brat King and Brat Queen, but like this whole thing is just to help people understand trans perspectives and to bring as many different people as possible on so people can see that like there's a whole world of queerness, a whole world of different gender expressions, participation in the gender binary and extreme lack thereof that two people could never ever cover ever.
Mhm.
I love that.
And I love that.
Yeah. Queer is everywhere.
Yeah.
That's a resource. Yeah, y'all know about Queer is Everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't,
.com.
but I need
Okay.
to.
Yeah, Queer is Everywhere. I think that's what it is. I'm very sure. Okay, it's called Queer is Everywhere. It's a website. Everywhere is queer. Yep. I'm pretty, but I'm not that smart. So Everywhere is queer. It's a really good resource that I send everyone to if you're looking for like queer businesses in your area.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
it's free to
Strands for
register.
Trans, but bigger.
Yeah, exactly. And it's gotten a lot of speed in the past couple of years. Gained a lot of recognition, especially on TikTok. So if you're someone who is, oh my gosh, your cat is so cute.
That's Mocha. She's a little girl.
She's just a baby.
She is.
So
She's a little
if you're
baby.
looking for, say, a queer fitness coach in your area, or a queer gym, we have. Well, I won't go there, but there's a lot. In Denver where I live, it's everywhere, and I really didn't even think about sometimes the fact that like having like a queer space that you just kind of like know is around the corner is like not everybody's experience. So that is somewhere that I'd really recommend people go if you're like, okay, where do I go to find like gay people? Where are the gay people that I can buy services from? Everywhereisqueer.com.
Amazing.
That
Yeah.
is, yeah, that sounds like a really good resource. We're really on a mission to like boost other queer people and other trans people. So that's amazing. We have had the privilege to have several guests on the podcast who are people of color, and we would really like to have like as many as possible because it's good to be able to like use our small platform, but our platform to like boost other people who need to have more than a voice than they do right now.
Also,
Yeah.
like the white trans voice is so specific and does not deal with as much of the societal bullshit as a trans voice of color.
Mm-hmm.
Real.
There's a lot of trans podcasts out there, but most of them that I found are like two middle class white trans women talking to each other. So at least we're only partially that on this podcast.
Yeah, and this group, the trans woman, trans man, non-binary, we got the whole spectrum together
This
here.
is wonderful. Yeah, this is wonderful.
And we've got Mocha.
And we
Yeah.
have Mocha, yeah.
She's the most important.
She is.
Mhm.
All 9 pounds of her.
Oh, 9 pounds. No way.
She used to live outside, and we stole her from the world.
You're like, why don't you just come inside? And she was like, bet. She's been there ever since. I love
Mhm.
that. I am really, really thankful I didn't know that y'all existed, and so I'm really thankful to know now. I was listening to some of
Mhm.
your episodes, and I was like, damn, okay, like, slay, let's go. And just really thankful that, yeah, that you exist and that your podcast exists. I think people who intentionally like get the word out, people who are intentionally like messengers, like resource hubs, like people who drop into my DMs and they go, oh, I have a resource for this, I have a resource for that, like you can go here to get this. Like those people are like it, like you're it. You are the ones that are going to be able to help keep community together, especially if the world keeps going the way that it's going, which it will. We desperately need, the communicators of like, let's bring people together. Like, you are the glue of community. And so I just am so honored to have been here in my exhausted holiday southern stupor.
And I think we're all exhausted and it's just going to get worse. But yeah, community is the biggest thing for us right now.
Yeah, we kind of found ourselves very suddenly thrown into the role of like community organizers because we have a very small community, but we have a community that we're like trying to help organize some resources and like find people who talk to who can give us more people to talk to and more resources. So like that said, we're like posting as much stuff as we're able to find on our Discord. So anybody who is on our Discord right now, actually just everybody join our Discord. You should join our Discord too.
Yeah, we unfortunately have just surpassed 69 members. Only unfortunate because it was such a funny number. The more the merrier. But we're at 70. But let's make it 420. Come on, everybody.
Yes. Yeah, I posted the screenshot earlier. I was like, we have 69 members. And Ben was like, nobody else join. So I guess.
Which was a joke. I do want people to join. It's just funny.
So you're all allowed now, but.
Yes, you guys start like voting people off to get back to 69. Like, sorry, we have to.
We can kick my husband out. He's cis. My husband can leave.
Yeah, immediate chopping block. That's crazy.
Okay, I'll make it 71. Are welcome for the record.
Join us.
Join us. Yes.
Ally. Speak.
I think we had so much fun just briefly chatting on like the Discord earlier because like I was like, okay, stop saying things because you need to save some for like the podcast conversation, but I feel like we have so much in common with each other. It's like really fun.
It is so fun to me to meet other queer people and to have such specific lore in common to the point where I'm like, are we the same person? I'm scared. Like, don't talk to me.
Were we raised together?
Like, are you just, did we do the, because the way that I will meet, non-binary people that like were raised Christian and military, went to Christian college, married a man, divorced him in their early 20s, and then like came out as gay and non-binary. Like, stop. That's cute. Like, I have nothing else to kind of wow people at a party. Like, I have always said that I need to find like something crazier to do. Like, I need to do something else that's just insane so that I can get back like the reaction of like, what? Because I always got the like, you were married to a man, and now when I say I'm divorced, I'm kind of at the age and like we're in a culture now where people are like, yeah, who isn't? You know? Yeah, like, who isn't divorced and came out?
It must have been scary though to get divorced in your early 20s.
Yeah. It
like,
was
you're still like becoming yourself, and then all of a sudden your entire world is completely different.
Yeah, that was my experience for sure. It was more just kind of like embarrassing, sort of. I kind of just felt like, well, this didn't work, and I really got married.
I don't think you should feel embarrassed.
I'm not anymore. It was a really, really good. Thank you. I agree. And if you're divorced, everyone out there, if you are divorced, slay. I love divorce. People will be like, oh, what if I have to get a divorce? I'm like, do it. Divorce is awesome. I can help you.
Better to be divorced than to be miserable.
Oh my God, yeah. Are you kidding me? And now it's just like, I don't even think about it anymore. It was a handful of years ago. And I'm like, oh, we've moved past that. Like, I've done crazier things than that. Divorce is great. I highly recommend getting married at 19, getting divorced at like 23, 24, and then just having like the most interesting lore to tell people for the next 5 to 6 years. Do it for the plot. Unless you love.
I tried to get my husband to. I tried to get my husband to give me a divorce last night for the gravy that our friend made for the mashed potatoes, but he said no, but we could have a throuple, so I'm pretty excited about that. Us and gravy.
That's a
It
good
was
deal.
so good.
It's a good deal.
Yeah.
Sounds like some good gravy.
I'm going to talk about this gravy till I die. It was so good.
Wow. No, I'm jealous of the gravy.
You could have been at Jake's house with me.
I know.
Silly families.
Mm-hmm. And I guarantee he doesn't have a recipe either.
No.
At least if you ask him, he'd be like, I don't know. If it's
No, he told me how he did it. I'll never recreate it like that, though.
Mm-hmm.
God, he's amazing. I love him.
Our friend is a culinary school dropout and just like still likes to cook. So he's very good at it.
It's a really
I don't think
fun
he's a culinary school dropout. I think culinary school wasn't powerful enough for him. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I couldn't contain his power.
Too powerful for culinary school. The gravy was too good. They kicked him out.
The goodest gravy.
And his dad, was born in the 50s and got my pronouns right every time. And I was just like, this is everything I needed for Christmas.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah. I'm impressed.
Merry Christmas to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that. And it's just kind of like, okay, so like people your age can get it right. It's actually not very confusing.
Yeah.
It made me feel so much more correct in not talking to my parents anymore. Because it's clearly, if you wanted to, you would.
Yeah, like my closest person to me in my life, like my wife, we've known each other like half of our lives now, at least, and she picked it up like in a moment. Like there's been a couple of slip ups from time to time, but she just like right away. So I'm like, if she can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
You just gotta want to do
Yeah, if someone who loves
it.
you can do it. Yeah. Also, I love that where it's just kind of like, that's kind of what we ask is like, you know what? It's fine if you misgender me. Like people in the queer community and the trans community misgender each other all the time. But the way that we handle it is so like affirming anyway. You just like correct yourself and you move forward, or you just correct yourself the next time and you don't make a big deal out of it. We all live in a
technically
binary
my
world.
My friend's dad did it once where he misgendered me, but he immediately corrected himself and moved on, which is why it's like he did it perfectly. Because if you mess up once, that's fine.
Yeah.
The worst is if the person just emotionally spirals and makes it like a scene out of it. You're like, this isn't helping.
Like, I'd rather you just like misgender me again instead of having to like have a whole moment about it.
Now we're all focusing on it. Yeah.
And uncomfortable.
Yes. Not that I haven't done that before, but you know.
I've done it to myself.
Yeah.
I've misgendered myself and then freaked out about it.
That's very
early on.
That
like,
is so
I'm
funny.
so sorry, me.
Like, please don't get confused by me not remembering who I am right now. But it was like years ago.
Gosh, I do that sometimes, and then I just go, hello? That's crazy. I'll dead name myself too, like in front of people, and everyone like looks at me as if I've if I've like said something like real bad, and I have, and I'm like, I don't know. Well, I'm sorry to everyone, including me, but I'm more sorry to like people around me. I'm like, I can call myself that, you can't.
Yeah, no one else can.
Yeah, right.
Let me process things.
So you were jumping back into interviewer mode. You're planning on starting your own business or your own gym or
Yeah. I am partnering. So my business partner and my business partner is the owner of Metamorphosis Fitness in Denver. It was the original queer and trans gym in Denver. It's been open for 8 years. It is unfortunately closing in like 3 days for good. But my business partner, Styler, they are fantastic, just an incredible person in our community. Don't tell them this, but I definitely consider them like one of our queer elders, and like a non-binary elder. Like I have not met someone of like an older generation who is so cool and so non-binary. And it's just like so special to know somebody like that, because all the non-binary people I know are my age or younger. They and I are going in on a training space together in Denver, and we're very excited. We're hoping to open in the next couple months, and it's going to be a very cool hub just for like hopefully whatever it needs to be. Like we definitely want to be doing fitness coaching in there because we both mostly just do like one-on-one coaching. But there's a lot of space for other practitioners and people who offer services to come in and share a space with us. And so I think that's where we're also hoping to go, is like we want a space where trans and queer people can come work out, hee hee ha ha, in a really safe environment. Because the other two gay queer gyms in Denver are not safe. They're just not safe. And I'll say that with my whole chest. And so we want to open a space like that. And also we want it to be a space where other queer individuals in our community can like come and build their business. The only reason that I was able to have a business for the last year is because an incredible community member, not gave, but offered her studio space, her fitness studio space, to me for an extremely reasonable rate. It is very difficult for fitness coaches to like exist, especially one that is based off of values. Not one that's based off of like money and profit, but one that's based off of values and who we serve. And so because of this person in the community, like I was able to build a business up to the point where now I'm hoping to help like others like bring in their business, whatever it is. If you're tattooing, if you want to teach yoga, like somatic breath work, whatever you want to do, come in and use the space. And of course it will evolve and change, but I just think that it's so just like crazy that this is something that we are really on the precipice of doing, because I don't know if y'all know, but everything is really expensive right now. And when you have
Yeah.
values around anti-capitalism, it's just like, no, I can't afford anything. So that is the goal. It's been in the works for a while, and it's been, what should I say? It's been on my vision board. Yeah, I should. It's been on my vision board for like a hot minute, and it's something that people told me I would never be able to do. Like in those words, I had people say, "You'll never be able to make a business out of fitness coaching." And then I had someone, actually
I
one
don't
of
like
the
those
owners.
people.
I don't like them either. I'm not in contact with them. But one of the people who
Good.
owns one of the queer gyms in Denver last year looked me in my face and was like, "You'll never be able to open your own space." I said, "Baby, no worries. I'm still gonna try. Like, let me just try to get there." And so that's the goal. If life takes us a different direction, that's fine. But it's really important to me that we have truly safe space for a community that I really love. I've been in Denver for a while, and I really love my people, and I really just want to like have them all here, right here in my bosom. Yeah, right there. Just snuggle up on in there. So yeah, that's the goal. Sorry, I could talk about it forever.
I know we just met, but I'm so proud of you. Like, holy shit.
Yeah,
Look at what you're
that's
doing.
incredible.
I'm gonna cry. Thank you. I'm
I
proud
might
of
too.
all of us. Oh my gosh, let's all cry. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to learn more about that, I don't know, find me on Instagram. Check out my whatever link in you know where, etc., etc. I have a website.
We're
It
gonna
kind of
put all
sucks.
of your yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah,
At least it's
but
there.
online.
hmm
Thank you for saying that I was an online presence. I'm really not that much of an online
You are an
presence.
online presence.
It's
Oh, stop. Either
okay.
way, let's be honest.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
I mean,
But we can help each
I
other out, you know.
yeah. TikTok's going away anyway or whatever. So
I know, yeah.
I'm really glad I never fully learned how to use TikTok because now I won't have to be sad.
grief.
And I'm trying to like I'm making an effort to like connect with more of my TikTok friends and mutuals and make sure that we're able to stay connected since especially with how much is up in the air with the TikTok situation. But also like for our listeners or the people who know us through TikTok, we also have like an Instagram, we have a Bluesky, we have like YouTube Shorts. We do everything we do on like basically every platform.
We technically have a
Um,
Facebook page that has nothing on it because
yeah.
I don't know how to save all the videos and post them.
Yeah. But yeah, like if you're not following us on those platforms, or if you're following Liv on TikTok and nowhere else, like they're definitely on Instagram and everywhere. So, and like I cannot recommend your like videos enough because like I feel yeah,
Hot by
I
proxy.
I feel hot by proxy. I feel very encouraged, and I don't know. We just have like the like trans telepathic link that Beth and I always talk about. We just like instant connection. So it's been like really nice to actually talk to you face to face. This is really
Oh
cool.
my gosh. Oh, yeah, no, same. It's so special when queerness brings people together in the most random ways. Like, we are all supposed to be in community. We're all supposed to know each
Mm-hmm.
other. It's very special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
it's
yeah.
hugely important.
Thank you so much for reaching out. Because I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
tell you what, I am posting on TikTok and then I'm getting off is what I'm doing. I'm like not looking at
Yeah.
my notifications. No, I didn't know message requests existed for a while. And so I'm like also still just kind of like learning, you know. So hopefully we can
Mm-hmm.
all just, if TikTok doesn't stick around, we all just go to Instagram and we make it really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make that place a little more fabulous because it needs some help.
Yeah. Get the gay people
Yeah.
in
Oh my
there.
gosh.
Yeah.
So many issues with Instagram, but I'm gonna have to learn to love it. So we're gonna work on that. We'll have to learn Instagram. But yeah, if anybody
Because
out there knows how to Instagram, let me know. I'm an old lady.
one of my friends texted me the other day and was like, if like the power grid goes out in 2025, like they're saying it will, like how are we gonna how are we gonna like get a hold of each other? And I was like, babe, like we know where we live. We could just go to each other's houses. But then it's just kind of
hmm
like, how do you get there? So I was like, we should all just get like one of those old address books. Like, remember like you'd write somebody's address in an address
I
book? I was
have
like,
one somewhere.
do you
hmm
really? I
Yeah, I really do. I used to work in a gift store, and Brian, if my former manager slash store owner, I stole address book. I stole it. It was queer
Boy.
reparations.
Yeah. Yeah, we need this is like a really good time to get in contact with some like queer elders for sure who have had to do this stuff before, because we are kind of it feels really weird calling us spoiled because we have still all gone through some shit. But we didn't go through like being a gay or trans person as an adult, like in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And that's a thing that other people have learned through how to do all this stuff like off the grid manually, like that is a lot of shared information that we could really use right now. So
As
if you
much as
are
right
that
now
person out
sucks,
there, come be on our
yeah,
podcast.
we're really lucky to be alive right now, even though right now sucks. Like, there's
hmm
so many tools that we have that other people couldn't have even dreamed of.
Very much so. hmm
Good point.
All right. Well, Liv, thank you so much again for being on. We're gonna
Thank you,
put
guys.
yes.
Is there anything else you
Um,
needed to share before we let you go?
I don't think so. I just love gay people and queer people.
I
I
love us
appreciate it.
too. I love all of
Oh,
us.
love us. It's so important to just like, yeah, remain in community with each other and just like understand what that means.
mhm.
And I appreciate y'all for having me on. Yeah, again, and just like this crazy post-holiday, like little fireside chat.
Boxing
Also,
Day.
yeah, just tell your body you love them
I love you,
because they love
body.
you. Yay.
Yay. All right. Well, thank you again. And our sign off recently in the past month or so has just been everybody out there listening or watching. If you are out there and you don't have a trans community, our community is your community. So, like, you're always welcome to get in the Discord and meet us. Like, everything is free, no gatekeeping, no paywall. So, come be your friends. If you know people in real life who are trans or queer and don't have a community, you're their community. So, take care of each other. Share your joy
Always share your joy.
as often as possible. Yes, it is everything. All right.
Solidarity forever.
Solidarity forever. Queer solidarity forever. All right. We'll see y'all next time.
I'm late, but I'm here.
That's
Hi.
okay.
That's okay. I'm normally late, so I cannot and will not judge you.
I won't judge
Thank
it.
you. Thanks.
Judgment-free
We're gay,
zone.
so yay. I always say, like, my clients will show up and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm late. I'm sorry." And I'm like, "Girl, I work with gay people. Like, of course you're late."
I
Of course
know.
you are.
I know. Like, just pop on screen, like, with an iced coffee in hand that you just bought, and then, like,
No,
it would
literally,
be
it's like
homophobic
behind.
for me to judge.